Hi everyone, Mr. Peabody here. Been watching your Congress, the American Congress, and I especially like Senator Cruz and Senator Kennedy and the way they pick apart the Biden nominees. But today they were talking about carbon neutral policy across the planet. Apparently there's like 130 countries that have signed up for this carbon neutral thing by, I think it's 2050, something like that. The fact is, never going to happen. It's never going to be carbon neutral. It's never supposed to be carbon neutral. Why? The plants need it. The problem is like we're cutting down trees, we're cutting down bushes, and we're clearing land, and we're putting in car parks, roads, and housing, and we're getting less plants. That's the problem. But let's go back before man was here. Go back to the dinosaurs. The level of carbon dioxide was high. Go back before the dinosaurs. When the Earth formed, carbon dioxide was toxic in the air. Like the level of carbon dioxide was way, 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 way up. And the level of oxygen was like. And then, of course, plants started to grow and they fed on the carbon dioxide and the oxygen level went up. And then we had animals. Animals showed up. And it's like, oh, well, look, now we've got some animals. And then, of course, they had the meteor and wiped out the dinosaurs, blah, blah, blah. And all the small little critters that could burrow themselves under the ground and do all that kind of stuff, they all survived. But we are never going to be carbon neutral. We were never supposed to be carbon neutral. If you want to talk about reducing toxic stuff, as in like pollution, yes, let's talk about that. But the global warming, that's bullshit as well. They're spending all this money on global warming. They want to have solar power and wind power and anything like that. That's never going to work. I've said this before. I've said it again. Nuclear. We need nuclear. Even though Australia has no nuclear stuff. We've got, at the moment, I think we've pretty much closed all our coal power generators down, but we've still got natural gas. And yeah, that's okay. That's fine, but it's limited. But we need to go nuclear, and safe nuclear, not like let's do a half-assed job of building a nuclear reactor. Because these days nuclear is much cleaner than anything else. But yeah, waste is a problem, and who's generating the most waste? China. Even India has less waste than China. They're building coal powered factories, coal powered power stations. Yeah, sorry, pink and grey chirping outside. But they're creating the most pollution. And they're saying the rest of the world needs to drop their pollution, where they're generating the most. And I'm pretty sure the last percentage I got was 90% of water in China you can't drink. Don't you think that's a bit of a problem? Maybe you should sort out your water first. But anyway, so yeah, we're never going to get carbon neutral. And I did a video on this probably about 5 or 6 years ago on the hockey stick, where they showed that the temperature of the Earth was basically stable, and then started to drastically rise. Right? Now, I had the problem with the hockey stick graph because it showed level, and then hockey stick rose. And they're saying, this is us. This is our time. We're causing the temperature of the Earth to go up. Bullshit, because if they would have shown you like a couple of thousand years before the start of the hockey stick graph, it would have showed you that the temperature of the Earth was much higher than it is now. Much, much higher. Because we were coming out of a minor ice age. So the minor ice age is the level temperature that you've got, and then the hockey stick starts rising. So we're coming out of an ice age. Nothing to do with cars, nothing to do with factories, nothing to do with anything else. I mean, you would think that if the hockey stick was going to rise, it would have rose in like the 1920s, 1930s. Why? Because they didn't have power, and they didn't have heaters, and they didn't have air conditioning. Everybody was heating their home using coal in their fireplaces, and you had soot coming out of their chimneys. Why do you think they needed chimney sweeps? Not because they liked the job, but because the coal, so much crap. But I mean, like, even coal powered, even coal fueled power stations these days. I know the ones in Australia that we had that we've closed down. They had so many filters on their chimneys that by the time the smoke came out the top, it was basically steam. You know, not really much causing any problem there. But anyway, so that's yeah. We're never going to get to carbon neutral. So stop talking about carbon neutral. Stop throwing money at carbon neutral. Stop throwing money at climate change. You can't do it. We can't sustain ourselves on solar and wind power. We can't. We need to find another way. It's not possible. And plus, the amount of pollution that you put back into the ground when the solar panel fails is ridiculous. Anyway, that's my thought for the day.